I'm Alexandre from the WEkEO user support, and today we will talk about the WEkEO viewer. We will see how to search for the data we are interested in. We will see how to visualize and download data, and we will see the tools and the interface to familiarize yourself with the WEkEO data viewer. So let's meet on the WEkEO homepage that you can find at the URL wekeo.eu. First, let me show you how to register. You can create a WEkEO account for free, and this allows you to download and use our tools to download and see data. So to register, you have this button on the homepage where you can click on it, and then you will have to fill in this form. So it's free, just remember. So let's now meet on the WEkEO data viewer. For this, you will have to click on data. There, if it's the first time you meet this page, you will have two layer display by default, like this. To access the WEkEO catalog, you can click on the plus button next to layers. There you have our catalog. On the right, you have more than 400 datasets available. You can see that some of them can be displayed on the map if you see this eye icon, and other can be displayed. This is the number of layers that you can display from this dataset. On the left, you have the filters. You have the search box where you can find with some keywords or the dataset ID, the name of the dataset. Then you have filters like the Copernicus service, the platform, the area, many tags. For today, we will choose a CLMS land dataset with the tag vegetation. So now we have left 8 datasets. Today we will choose this one, the season minimum value 2017 to present, which is available display only data in Europe, and which is a yearly data set. On the left, you have the thumbnail, where you can see where data will be displayed. And then you have a quick description of the data set. You can add this data set to your favorites. And today we will display the details. So there you have sometimes it's not for all data sets, but a use case. You can click on it to show what we can do with dataset like this. Then you have the thumbnail, the temporal extent from January 1st, 2017 to now, the latitude and longitude extend, the button to add to map the dataset, an abstract with many information about the dataset, the dataset ID, which can be useful if you use our HDA to download data via scripts, but it also can be useful if you want to share with us, the WEkEO support, with which dataset you are using. So it's a common way to name the dataset you are using. Then you have the Copernicus service, the area, time, other information, and metadata. So today we will add to map this dataset, and here we have all the layers we can display on the map. Today we will choose the total productivity season 1. So we click on add to map. Then we can close this window by clicking on the cross or outside the window. And there we have our layer, total productivity season 1. We have the date of the data display on the map, the area, the color map, and some buttons that we'll detail right after. You can hide the layer on the map. So I will hide the 2 default layers. Then you can zoom in and zoom out with the scroll of your mouse. At the bottom, you have a timescale where you can choose the date of the data display on the map. So now it's 2023, but if I want 2020, I can click here and the data will update on the map. So I can change 2022. Let me show you just that there is also a depth scale for dataset of the water. If you want to display only data at the depth of, for example, 4,000, you have this time scale to adapt the depth. So let's hide this dataset. At the bottom right, you have tools. The first one is the locate tool to draw a point on the map. This will allow you to get the coordinate of this point. Then you have the measure tool to calculate the distance between few points. Quick tip, you can exit the tools by pressing escape from your keyboard like this. And then the most important is the set area of interest. This allows you to draw a bounding box on the map like this. This will be useful if you want to download only data in this bounding box. We will see how to use this bounding box in the subset button. So just keep in mind. And then the settings button to parameter the viewer. So we can decide to show or not the base map, show or not the coastline and reference features. We can change units from kilometers to miles or other units. And then we have the credits. Now let's talk about the buttons. So the first one is the subset and alert button that I will detail just after. The information button to come back to this page where we have all the details of the dataset. Then we have the layer button to change the layer we want to display before we choose the total productivity. And if we want to change, we can do this here. And then the setting button to change the opacity of the layer. This can be useful if you want to compare, for example, two layers at the same time in the same area. You can decrease the opacity and display two layers at the same time. And you can change the color map if you want something with more contrast. Let's choose this. So let's put it by default again. And then the subset and alert button. So to use it, you will have to connect to your WEkEO account. If you don't have one, you can create an account. You just have to fill in the form, and this is free, and this will allow you to download your data. So let me sign in to my account. Up. So there we have all the variables, all the fields to subset our data to request results we want. So all the fields are not mandatory. You can see mandatory fields with a red asterisk. If I want to show you here, like these variables have a red asterisk for the dataset seawater society. So here you will have to select the variables, but for our dataset, none of them are mandatory. So today we will choose to download only the year 2023. So I can click on start date to choose a date. So I'm going to 2023, 1st January, like this. But you can also enter the date manually. So like this. I will put 2024 to be sure. And you can also copy the date from the timescale. For example, if I'm going to 2021 and then copy from layer, the date will change like this. So let's go back on 2023. And then we will subset according to the bounding box. So I drew this bounding box before, so I can copy my area of interest from the map by clicking on this button. There we have all the coordinates matching this bounding box. And You can also enter the coordinate manually. Depends on what you need. So this will limit the data to this bounding box. Some datasets can be downloaded by tile. So sometimes a tile can be outside, give you data outside the bounding box because the tile is not um, completely included in the bounding box. So keep in mind that sometimes you can have data outside the bounding box, but that doesn't mean that you don't subset according to your bounding box. So on the left, you have the show API request. This is the API request that can be used with the harmonized data access HDA API. This can be useful if you want to download data via script. The HDA API is available via Python, but also with R and with curse commands. With the viewer, you have this request that you can copy, and I recommend to use the viewer to get the query with the right formats and with the right format and all the variables with the right name according to what the dataset propose. Um, I know that sometimes the format can change uh, due to updates. So I recommend to go through the viewer to get the right request. And then we will request the data. So at the bottom right, you can see that the request sent successfully. To show this request, you can click on the Jobs tab here. And here we have all the requests we have made with an historic. So you have the name of the layer, the date at which I made this request with the time, the status of the request, which is now completed. We have this button to show the API requests we see before, and the folder button to see all the results. So for this request, we have more than 50 results. We can see them here, and for each of them, we can order them. This can take some seconds, sometimes minutes, depending on the size and the dataset. And here we can download the data. This will open our folders, local folders, and you can choose to download the data wherever you want. What I recommend if you have many results or if you have many requests to make is to use our HDI API. The HDI API allows you with a few commands to download all the results from a request in just one line. So you just have to put the directory where you want to download data, and this will download the more than 50 results at one time. So keep in mind that you have this solution. If you want to get more information about the HDA and how to use it, you can go to our help center that you can find at the homepage by clicking on support and then go to help center. From there, you can, for example, type HDA, and then you will see how to use the HDA in Python, in R, or with curls. If you have questions or issues, you can contact us with the widget at the bottom right on WEkEO. By clicking on it, you will have access to this widget and then click on messages, and you can ask us a question like this. First, you will talk to Neo, our AI agent. Neo have a lot of knowledge, but if you have a specific question or if Neo don't succeed to answer your question, you can ask him uh, to talk to a person, and this will redirect the conversation to us, the WEkEO user support, and we will be glad to answer your question. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate.
Thank you very much, Alexandre, for your presentation. So we will move on to some question. So actually for now on the WEkEO viewer, we don't have, oh yes, we have the first one here about if AGB data is available.
Um,
I'm not sure what AGB is. I don't know if you know.
yeah, me too. No,
Okay,
actually, I don't know, but yeah, like I said, don't hesitate to ask the question via the widget, and right after the webinar, we'll check this.
so on the chat we have people saying above ground biomass.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe you can search in the search bar like I show some keywords and you will find the dataset. But now I can't tell you.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess you have to look at the catalog because we don't know it by heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question about if we need to have some knowledge of Python or other programming language to access data.
We made the API the most friendly possible. We have my colleagues will show you the WEkEO Jupyter Hub, where all the environments and package are installed. So this allows you to use the HDA the easiest way. And our article is well detailed, so you will have to learn just 2 or 3 commands to log in and download. And I think you don't need to have some programming language. But I recommend Python if it's the first time.
Okay. So next question, can you upload a shapefile to be used as AOI, or is it just the rectangle option we saw in the example?
Yeah, for the moment, we only have this rectangle option, the bounding box that can be used. We don't have the possibility to use shapefile. If you have some common knowledge to Python, you can use Xarray to subset your data, but that's not possible in the viewer.
Okay. So this one question about is there a DEM or SRT aim high resolution available dataset of the provided data. So I guess we also need to look at the catalog to know
Yeah,
that. I
same
don't know,
as
maybe
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can check by keyword on the research bar to find everything. What is the utility of the job tab just beside layers?
Yeah, so the jobs tab is where you can find all the requests you have made. You have an historic of the previous jobs you made. And if you want to come back later to download your data, you will see all the jobs you made. And once you request your data, you need to go to the jobs tab to see the request. And yeah, you have the folder icon under your request you made to see all the results and order them to just after download them.
Okay. Only visualization data is available on this, or any tabular data also available?
We have some dataset that are not that cannot be displayed on the map. So I think you will have some data that can be downloaded with a CSV format. So I think your question is, yeah, some data are not can be displayed on the map. So yeah, some of them can be tabular data.
Okay. Okay. So concerning the limitation of the API request per day or per
Yeah.
account, Do we have some?
Yeah. Good question. We have a limitation of 100 requests per hour. There is no limitation by day, except for some data sets. If I'm not mistaken, it's the CMWF dataset. This is an issue. We are dealing with our teams to increase uh, this limitation. But yeah, if you encounter some limitation, you can contact us and we'll see in details which limitation you are encountering and if it's normal or not.
Okay. So we also have some question about the coverage. So,
Mhm.
for example, if my area of interest is in a remote area, can I still find data on Copernicus?
Mm, I'm not sure if I understand the remote area, but we have some global datasets that cover the world. There is not only European datasets, so you can find data wherever you want, depending on what you are searching.
Exactly. So I guess it's also almost the same of this question about data available around the globe. So you
Yeah,
can find, yeah.
yeah. You can
Uh,
search with tags the area on the left
yeah.
in the catalog. Yeah.
Yeah. So this question about what is the format of the data. So it's usually netcdf files, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but you have it's depending on the dataset. Some providers are uh, giving data in zip file. Uh, I don't remember what we have. We have, like I said, the CSV format from specific datasets. And for some of them, you can choose the format in the subset uh, on the viewer on the
Okay.
subset layer.
Okay. This question about if the data sets can be used in other viewers with WMS or WMTS calls.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
show it in my presentation because our thinking is what more it's for few people's, but below the add to map in the detail window from a dataset, you have just below WMS/WMTS button where you can find the link of the dataset. Um, yeah, you can contact me if you don't find it, and I will show you. But yeah, we have this.
Okay. Okay, so good to know. Okay, one question about where can we see, more information about the data processing and algorithm, if possible, used in the analysis.
Mm, yeah, you have. I will show you because I don't. Let me share my screen. Just. Can I? Yeah. Just I steal you the share. You can access the Jupyter catalog where you can find many notebooks, and for some of them, you will see how they manipulate the data for specific use cases. Yeah, you have like previously filters. I don't know for what you want to study, but yeah, you have notebooks that manipulates data. So in the Jupyter catalog in the homepage. Hop,
Okay.
I let you the screen.
Okay. Okay, thanks a lot. Hop. So, a few more questions. No.
Hmm.
Hop. Wait. Uh, can we go back to the screen share of the Q&A, please? Okay, so yeah, next question is about can we do geoprocessing and analysis inside the platform, or is it just for dataset viewer and dataset acquisition only?
Um, mm, Geoprocessing. I don't think from what I show you in the viewer we can. Um, if you want to manipulate data, I recommend to use a language like Python. But internally on WEkEO, we don't have tools to manipulate. We have
Yeah, just
packages in our help center that helps you to manipulate, but internally we don't have something.
okay. Yeah, just to see the data. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I think we lost the screen sharing of the Q&A,
yeah,
but yeah,
I
I
see
guess I
it.
will take my time to read them so you can understand them.
Mhm.
So, this question about if it is possible to do processing on the bands after the download.
The bands.
Yeah, bands like bands, BANDS. Maybe the
Mm, now I don't know.
no, no, okay, yeah. So I will put the question aside and we will try
Yeah.
to
Okay.
come with an answer on the post event report. Okay,
Ah, thank you.
so thanks. Can all datasets be used to different software like ArcGIS Pro? So after that, we have a few GIS presentations, but
Mhm.
maybe Alexandre can already try to answer this one.
I think so. I think it depends on the format of the data. But yeah, why not?
Okay. Also, this question about the seafloor and continental shelf. So if we can
Mm,
use WEkEO. So yes, we can use Copernicus Marine data
yeah.
for this one. So
Mhm.
on WEkEO on or the Copernicus Marine website, obviously, but yeah, you can find data for that.
Mhm. Yeah.
So WEkEO is a platform just to visualize and download the data like other sites. Well, yes.
Yes. We just gather all the providers' data. So yeah, you can find the Copernicus Marine data and CLMS data, everything, but all in one platform, in one viewer, and with a common API, the HDA. So yeah, that's the point.
Okay. Okay. So we will do one last question and then we will move on to the Jupyter presentation.
Mhm.
This one about why is the global NDVA layer in the viewer missing large chunks in some countries? So I don't know which layer is it. I don't know if you know
I think
them.
it's the default layer. Yeah. Um, I can tell you now why. Um, Maybe you can contact me and send me some screenshots why you don't find data. But it's maybe due to the time you choose at the bottom of the viewer. Maybe you can change the date and find data um, in a specific area at a specific time. I know that some dates don't show data at some points. Yeah, but try to change the date at the bottom of the viewer.
Okay. Okay. And so this one will be really the last question.
Yeah.
We also have lots of questions about the Jupyter, QGIS, and R tutorials.
Mhm.
We will keep them on the side for the presentation about the tutorials, and we will come back to them after, don't worry. So this one is about if we can provide a metadata file to associate with the TIFF data. So I don't know if it's planned or...
Uh, that's a good question. Um, we have metadata file in the details of the dataset in the viewer. Also, the HDI have a comment to display the metadata. So I don't remember, but I think it's a point metadata, and then you put the name of the dataset ID of the dataset. But yeah, I think if it's that you want, we can provide metadata dataset.